Longmire fans, assemble, because we'll be going over some behind-the-scenes secrets that many of you never knew. First, we start off with 6 little secrets you may not have known about the show. Afterwards, we'll discuss how active the author was in the series. Then we learn about a Longmire cast member who made allegations against another actor, and next, we come to find out there could be a possible spin-off, and if there is, who it could be centered around. Lastly, we learn that Longmire could be leaving Netflix sometime towards the end of this year. First up, let's touch on the first 3 known secrets you may not have known. The TV series Longmire aired its final episode on November 17th of 2017, and there's a few pieces of information regarding the show that not many fans knew about. But rest assured, we will catch you up to speed. We'll start off with the first and most important piece of information. Did you know the show was based on a series of books created by Craig Johnson? Well, believe it or not, Johnson went on to publish a total of 15 novels. The time and energy he spent trying to get the books to be as authentic as possible showed just how great an author he is. And I think many who read the books could agree he did a great job telling the story of Sheriff Longmire. The books were admired so much that they inspired its very own festival. The festival is referred to as the Longmire Days, and the annual event takes place in Buffalo, Wyoming. So, if you're a super fan and want to be in the world of Longmire, make sure to stop by. You may even see one of your favorite cast members make an appearance, so it'll seem even more real. Another interesting fact is that the show has debuted on A&E at first, but they felt they couldn't market the show well, so it was dropped. The show was then picked up by Netflix, so you can thank them for the additional 3 seasons that came after. Next, let's talk about the next 3 show secrets. Oh, also, did you know that the show was actually filmed in New Mexico despite being set in Wyoming? Yep, I hate to break it to you, but the fantasy town of Absaroka County doesn't exist. But it didn't stop there. Filming also took place in a few other towns such as Las Vegas, Eagle Nest, and Red River. The production really did a good job choosing sets because many couldn't even tell the filming locations weren't in Wyoming. Now, enough about filming and locations and the fact the series was initially only 3 seasons long. Let's talk about how Robert Taylor tried his own take on his character. What I mean by that is Robert based how he portrayed his character according to other known Western characters. That's right, when Robert was getting into character as Walt Longmire, he drew inspiration from Clint Eastwood and also Harrison Ford's part in Indiana Jones. The last little known secret is that Coach Taylor from Friday Night Lights could have played Walt. He turned down the role when it came across, and he admits he's glad he did because it wouldn't have been Longmire without Robert Taylor. Now I'll let you in on some tidbits of information, including the author and some characters. Let's see just how involved the author was with the TV show and how it came down to signing over rights to the show. So when it came down to the actors portraying their roles and how certain scenes were meant to go, Craig had something he had to make known. The deal he had made when signing over rights to the show stated that plot points had to be different than those in the book. So why did he want that? Well, he did it so people who read the book would have something to look forward to, and those plot points wouldn't be revealed in the show. This way, viewers can still come to appreciate the same characters, just in different worlds, almost. Not to mention the show also went an extra mile by adding more characters that don't appear in the book, so this sets them apart from the book series all the more. These characters are Branch, Barlow, Jacob Nighthorse, and Michaela Strand. Lou Diamond's role as Henry Standing Bear wasn't originally in the books either. For those who don't know, Henry acts as a mediator between police and reservation police, and most of the drama is surrounded by these two forces. Many also don't know that Lou Diamond Phillips is actually of Cherokee descent. Speaking of another actor who plays on the show and pulls off a Western tone so well you wouldn't expect him to be Australian, that person is Robert Taylor. That's right, Walt Longmire is Australian in real life. On a more serious note, we touch on Longmire's cast member, Cassidy Freeman, and her alleged assaulter. It was a sad ordeal, no doubt, when in 2017, Cassidy came forward claiming Jeremy Piven was guilty of sexually assaulting her. She opened up about the unwanted acts and behavior from this actor. She stated, "Predatory behavior is a chronic way for you to seek power." Cassidy became heated after he denied these claims, and she responded by saying, "Do you feel powerful with your lawyers and networks and your diehard fans who call your victims bimbos? Or do you know in your rotten gut that you will have to lie for the rest of your life? I hope hope from now on you keep it in your pants and you never get to do it again. I regret to inform you that Cassidy wasn't Jeremy's only victim either. 3 other women came forward the following year in January of 2018 in a report with multiple cases of sexual assault against them in November 2017. Piven quickly responded to the backlash, saying, "These allegations, which in one case go back 30 years and 2 others 20 years, are false." He also noted, "As evidenced by the lie detector test I took and passed, I have never forced myself on anyone, nor have I ever exposed myself to anyone or restrained anyone against their will to the contrary. If any women ever said no, I stopped." Draw your own opinions from the ordeal, but this was a sad secret to find out, and that it happened to our beloved Cassidy Freeman. It was kept under wraps at first, but Cassie, being the strong woman she is, decided to speak up, and we commend her for doing so. Now we learned that there could potentially be a spin-off of Longmire. I know you have a lot of questions like, who will it be revolving around? Don't worry, we will be going over everything, so sit back and let us go over the possibilities. Even though Longmire was canceled after 6 seasons, it could be possible a comeback. But that would depend on Netflix. It's thought they could bring it back now, especially that the story seemed to shift and Katie is now the acting sheriff. Many wonder why it was canceled in the first place. Some believe the show simply ran its course and it was time. Others think that the actors would have wanted higher pay and the show, along with renewing contracts, became too expensive. It's typical for most contracts to be for 6 seasons. I know what you're thinking. Why is Katie the ideal fit for a spin-off? Well, it's simple. She's the most familiar with the whole cast and not to mention has her own career as well as ambitions to help outside of her role as sheriff. The story could take a turn and she could move on from her role as sheriff and take on challenges elsewhere. In addition, Katie knows best the hardships that Native Americans face in this modern day and age better than most. Let us know what you think, but fans love the idea that a spin-off could be surrounded by her. Lastly, we learned that Longmire could leave Netflix. I know it's sad, but don't worry. The earliest possible day it's projected to leave Netflix is almost a year away. Longmire has since left Netflix in Canada, so the US could be next. Fun fact too, every region outside of the US and Canada hasn't received Longmire. Funny enough, in early 2021, there were rumors that a 7th season would be coming. There were even fake dates and forged pictures implying that the new season could be based on. That was short-lived when all 6 seasons of Longmire were pulled from Netflix Canada on November 17th, 2021. Isn't it surprising that Netflix originals can leave Netflix? Well, it's becoming a more common thing, and even shows like Lucifer and Sabrina could even leave the network. It's said that shows will usually sign to a network like Netflix for 5 years. So if the last episode of Longmire aired on Netflix on November 17th, 2017, it's likely at the 5-year mark on November 17th, 2022. The show will be taken off. So watch, rewatch, and get others to live up the series all you can this year before it gets taken off. Although it isn't proven this could be the final date it's available on Netflix, it is highly likely, especially because it already got pulled from Canada. Well, there you have it, Longmire fans. All the secrets about the show and surrounding cast members who are part of the series. Let us know what secrets surprised you the most, and give your opinion about what you think about a spin-off. Until next time, watch as much Longmire as you can.